When was the last time you took a full day off without feeling guilty about it? Not a sick day, not a forced day off because something broke down, an actual day where you just let yourself rest. Really think about it for a second. If you're struggling to remember, this episode is for you. Today, we're diving into something that's everywhere on social media right now, but rarely talked about honestly: toxic productivity. We'll unpack what it actually is, how it quietly creeps into our lives without us noticing, why it's gotten so much worse in the last few years, and how to step out of it without feeling like a failure or lazy for doing so. Grab a coffee, get comfortable, and let's get into it.
Let's clear something up first. Productivity itself isn't the enemy here. Wanting to work hard, achieve goals, grow, and improve, that's all healthy and normal. The problem isn't productivity. The problem is the word sitting right in front of it: toxic. Toxic productivity is what happens when work stops being a tool for building a better life and becomes the goal itself, an endless one with no finish line. You're not just working hard anymore. You're pushing yourself past your limits every single day, cramming your schedule so full there's no room left to breathe. The result? Your energy gets completely drained. There's no time left for the things that actually make you happy, or the things your well-being genuinely depends on: sleep, movement, real conversations, creative play, even boredom. And here's the part that really gets dangerous. Instead of resting, you start feeling guilty for resting. Instead of seeing time with friends and family as something that fills you up, you start seeing it as wasted time you could have spent being productive. If you've ever caught yourself thinking, "I should be doing something right now," while you're literally just sitting still trying to relax, that right there is the clearest sign you're stuck inside the toxic productivity bubble. Here's a small thought experiment. Imagine your energy as a phone battery. Healthy productivity is like using your phone normally throughout the day and plugging it in at night. It charges, it works, it lasts. Toxic productivity is like running your phone at 100% brightness with every app open, never plugging it in, and then being confused why it dies by 3 p.m. You can't outwork a battery that never gets to recharge. Eventually, it stops holding a charge at all, even when you do plug it in. That's what burnout actually is.
So, how do you actually know if you're caught in it? There are a lot of signs, but let's go through the big ones, one at a time, slowly, because some of these are sneaky. First, guilt during rest. You take a 5-minute break and immediately feel like you're stealing time from something or someone. Your brain starts narrating a list of everything you should be doing instead. Second, treating time with people as a failed investment. You're sitting with friends or family, but your mind is somewhere else. Emails, deadlines, that one task you haven't finished yet. You're physically present, but mentally somewhere else entirely, and the people around you can usually tell. Third, measuring your self-worth by how much you got done. On a day you knock out your to-do list, you feel like a good person. On a day you rest, even if you genuinely needed it, you feel lazy or like you failed somehow. Your mood becomes a direct function of your output, which is an exhausting way to live. Fourth, a constant exhaustion that sleep doesn't fix. This isn't just physical tiredness. It's a full drain on your mental and emotional reserves. Your body is sending you signals: tension headaches, irritability, getting sick more often than usual, trouble concentrating, and you're ignoring all of them because stopping to listen feels like falling behind. Fifth, feeling like even rest has to be productive. You try to relax, but you reach for a self-improvement book or a podcast that's supposed to teach you something, instead of just letting your mind genuinely switch off with no agenda at all. Even your hobbies start turning into side projects with goals and metrics. Sixth, and this one's easy to miss, you start resenting people who seem relaxed. You see someone post about a slow weekend, a nap, a long lunch with no laptop in sight, and instead of feeling happy for them, something in you bristles. That little flicker of irritation is often a sign you're depleted and haven't admitted it to yourself yet. If you recognized yourself in even one or two of these, Take that as a gentle nudge from yourself to yourself. Something needs to shift. You don't need all 6. Honestly, even one of these, if it's been going on for months, is worth paying attention to.
The biggest driver behind how widespread this has become is, unsurprisingly, social media. Open any platform and you'll find videos about the morning routine of successful people, how to wake up at 5 a.m., grind while everyone else sleeps. None of that content is inherently bad. The problem is the sheer volume of it and how we end up comparing our real, messy lives to a curated, edited highlight reel of someone else's, never seeing their tired moments, their burnout, or the rest they're also quietly taking behind the scenes that just never makes it into the video. There's also what people call hustle culture, the idea that being constantly busy is itself proof that you're successful or important. Exhaustion has somehow become a badge of honor people wear proudly instead of a warning sign. Saying "I'm so busy" has practically become a greeting in some circles, almost a competition over who's more depleted. And on top of that, there's real economic pressure a lot of people are dealing with, a genuine fear that stopping for even a second means falling behind or missing an opportunity. Rent, job security, family responsibilities, none of that pressure is imaginary, and we shouldn't pretend it is. But it's still worth separating the work I genuinely need to live from the burnout that eventually makes me unable to work at all. One sustains you, the other quietly dismantles you, slowly enough that you don't notice until you're already running on empty. The end result is that we're not just working too much, we're working from a place of fear. Fear of not being enough, fear of falling behind everyone else, fear of being labeled unproductive, as if that were the worst thing a person could be called.
The good news is there's a way out, and it has a name: slow productivity. This doesn't mean becoming lazy or abandoning your goals. It means working with depth and intention instead of speed and volume. Let's break it down into practical steps you can actually start today. First, accept that rest is part of the work, not the opposite of it. Your mind and body need recovery time to actually perform well afterward. Even professional athletes schedule rest days. That's not a break from training, it's part of the training. No serious coach would ever tell an athlete to skip recovery entirely and just push harder forever. Yet that's exactly what most of us do to ourselves at work. Second, protect real time for the things that fill you up. Friends, family, hobbies, even things that feel pointless on paper, those are exactly what keep you whole as a person and what give your life meaning beyond a checklist. Try blocking that time on your calendar the same way you'd block a meeting. If it's not scheduled, it tends to quietly disappear. Third, try doing absolutely nothing without the guilt. There's something in us that fears stillness, but stillness is exactly what feeds creativity. Some of your best ideas have probably shown up while walking, in the shower, or doing nothing in particular. The brain needs space to connect the dots. That's not wasted time. That's actually part of how thinking works. Fourth, ask yourself, does my productivity define my worth? The honest answer is no. Your value as a person isn't tied to how many tasks you finish today. You're worthy sitting still just as much as you're worthy getting things done. This is worth repeating to yourself more than once because old habits of self-judgment don't disappear after hearing it a single time. Fifth, be kind to yourself and listen to your body. If your body is tired, that's not laziness, it's a message. If your mind feels worn down, that's not weakness, it's also a message. Listening to those signals isn't a luxury, it's what actually lets you keep going long term, instead of crashing later and losing far more time to recovery than you would have lost to a few honest breaks along the way. Sixth, redefine what a good day actually looks like. Instead of measuring a day purely by output, try measuring it by balance. Did I get something meaningful done? Did I also rest, connect with someone, move my body, breathe? A good day doesn't need to be a maximally productive one. It needs to be a sustainable one.
The difference between healthy productivity and toxic productivity is the difference between a steady river and a waterfall. The waterfall might look more impressive from a distance, more dramatic, more intense, but it's not sustainable, and eventually it wears down everything underneath it, including you.
Toxic productivity isn't the same as loving your work or being ambitious. Those are completely different things, and there's nothing wrong with either one. Toxic productivity is pushing yourself until you break, feeling guilty when you rest, and measuring your worth by how much you got done in a day. The signs usually start with constant exhaustion, guilt during rest, seeing time with people as wasted time, and sometimes even a quiet resentment toward people who seem relaxed. It tends to grow out of a mix of social comparison, hustle culture, and real fear about falling behind. And the way out, simple to say but genuinely takes practice, is to accept rest as part of the work, protect time for the people you love, and actually listen to your body and mind instead of overriding them every single day. If anything in this episode hit close to home, start small today. Take a 5-minute break. No phone, no guilt, no trying to make it productive somehow. Just 5 minutes of actually doing nothing. You are enough exactly as you are, even while resting.